Sunya, 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 Sunya. The 10th Purity promised you that by deeply listening to relax into the flow. When we deeply listen, we're immersed in the divine sound of our inner abode. Our inner abode is filled with contentment and true knowledge. Communing with the word, with the Nam, with the mantra, blesses us like bathing in sacred sites. Deep listening delivers us to the state of Sahaj. We relax in the blissful flow of the One. And then we are so blessed to do the amazing Kriya of healing our imagined, conquering our imagined disabilities with that great breath, right? I don't know about you, but there definitely, if I think back to times when I am experiencing the sadness, the despair of my ego, when I close my eyes, it does not feel blissful, right? And I just want to acknowledge that that is not my soul. And there's nothing wrong when we go inside and all there is pain. And all there is despair, or all there is confusion. That is, the egoic nature really amped up and afraid. As someone who's suffered from some trauma in my childhood and depression, I remember my first round of depression. I was in the 5th grade, and I did not know what that was. I did not understand it. And that would be the beginning of lots of darkness, which eventually led me in high school to drugs and alcohol, right? It's like those of us that do not have the support when we feel this immense sadness that can come, sometimes even feel like, I want to die, right? The answer was some outside substance. And even religion could feel like this outside God, this God in the sky, this big, powerful God that can do anything. And I'm not saying God isn't that, but that power, that beauty, that healing is inside. And that's what Kundalini teaches us. And that's what these Kriyas and mantras do. They clean up the inside. Some of us, it's not so much like you may have a lot of, confusion and anger and despair inside. And it's not that more trauma is happening. And it's not that your trauma is worse or less than others. But your attention to it has become a pretty horrible habit. And I only can say that because I know. I've done that. And it's compelling because, your sadness, my sadness is real. The pain that has been a part of my life is real. It's so interesting. I mean, one of the things that is so weird, I know that I'm a yoga teacher. So on one hand, oh my gosh, right? It's so much beauty. It's the love of my life, blah, blah, blah. But also, it is where God can really allow me to feel such pain. Because a part of the journey of a teacher is students. And there's so much love and gratitude with my students. But also there is pain. There is, like in my real life with like Tony, and like I don't encounter anger or jealousy or blame, right? But now, as a teacher, sometimes, and it's taught me so much too about my relationship with my teachers, Tom and Trisha, because there were times when I got angry. And the reason is I made them my mama and dad, and they're human. And when it didn't feel like it was going the way I wanted, I got pissed. They didn't give me. Look how much I give to you. Oh my God, Tom and Trish, you're just all about you. And it was like, no, they were being my teachers, and I put them in this other place. Anyways, back to me. I don't know if my students do that, but I definitely become the target of their pain. And as a good teacher, my job is to just take it. Don't defend. Don't overanalyze it. Just know that it's in my life for my good. That I am here to learn from that. And I am here to pray for them. And I am here to take the lesson. Like, why is this being said to you? It isn't by mistake. In Kundalini, in these chants, there is this word, hukum. And hukum means God's command, divine will. So it means that everything that's happening to us is the will of God, the good, the bad. And that can feel like, as this wonderful, amazing teacher of the Nam, he says, believing in God 50% of the time is not going to work. And what he's saying is, so hukum, God's will, when it's good for me, right? My students love me, then I love God. But when my students are angry at me, well, then God is not delivering. And that's what keeps us from growing. That's what keeps us from really loving our lives. There is nothing being said or done to Marcia that isn't perfect for me at that point. And can I deeply listen? It used to be easier for me to deeply listen when I was at State Fun to someone angry about their policy or something like that, because I really didn't feel like I made the policy bad. It's like, these are the laws, and yeah, they are fucked up. However, they would spew it at me, and when I would deeply listen, I knew they were afraid and they were in despair. It wasn't about me, and it wasn't even about them, that they were incurring like maybe bills that were astronomical because of workman's comp, and they were frightened. It was easy to sunya and hukum there, okay? In things now in your life, your husband or a friend that always loved you or whatever, and now they have this disagreement. Can we know? It doesn't mean that we have to own how someone perceives us as truth, but we do have to own that we're supposed to hear that now. And we do have to love them and realize that even though maybe what they say or do is unfair, it is perfect in this moment. And it is like that part of them is like only like 2% of who they are. You're only getting this version of them as to how they feel about you in this moment, right? And there is so much more to them, so much beauty, so many other things that maybe they don't even share with you. And so we can never judge. We also do not know the pain that someone's been in and why they are now turning it on you. It's that saying, until you've walked a mile in somebody else's shoes, until I have lived their life for a day, I have no idea, so that I do not judge them. And that is God's grace, right? So like in the Mool Mantra, It says, Nirbo nirver. Don't be afraid of someone spewing their fear on you, and don't be vengeful. Don't want to get even or make sure they understand how you feel about. No. The beauty of the Ekankar is it takes all of that on for you. And it takes practice. You know, sometimes, like when that, the negativity comes into my life, at first, I definitely share it with others. And I stew on it, but not like weeks, maybe a day, tops. And then I realize, oh my God, this is such a gift. And here's the thing. When somebody hurts you or has really angered you or has accused you unfairly, there's something coming your way that is wonderful. You want to know what it is? It's you are now invited to pray for them. Because you know this is in your life because they're hurting. You have triggered their pain response. Whether you meant it or not, doesn't matter. And the invitation now is to pray for them wholeheartedly for 40 days. Now, don't pray for them to see that you're really a good person and that you love them. Fuck that. That's so selfish, right? Pray for God's will. Open your heart. Like, feel the joy and the love in your life. Like, feel how blessed you are. And pray that they get to feel that too. And that everything that they are angry about heals. And that they are empowered to just like really have the best life ever. Not so that they will like you now or, apologize. No, just so that they can be happy, period. This is the last day of the 40 days. You did it. You did it. Even if you miss some days or you're only one of those, there's some people that only listen to the recordings. Whatever. I love you. Keep up. Do something every morning that aligns you with the great giver and your sweet soul. Sat Nam.